This is the key takeaways from the book Atomic Habits, written by James Clear. James Clear is an author, speaker, and productivity expert known for his work on habits, decision-making, and continuous improvement. His book Atomic Habits gained widespread acclaim and became a bestseller. Clear's writing often focuses on the power of small habits and incremental changes for personal and professional development. The content of this presentation is introduction, tiny changes, remarkable results, habit loop, identity-based habits, habit stacking, plateau of latent potential, environment matters, continuous improvement, habits shaped identity, make it obvious, attractive, easy, and satisfying, and in the end, a conclusion. In this video, I will explore the transformative power of small habits and their compounding effects on our lives. Drawing insights from the book Atomic Habits, we will delve into key concepts such as the compound effect, the habit loop, identity-based habits, habit stacking, and the plateau of latent potential. We will also discuss the crucial role of our environment, the continuous improvement philosophy, and how habits shape our identity. Compound effect. The book emphasizes the compounding nature of small habits. Over time, the effects of tiny changes accumulate, resulting in a significant impact. Like compound interest in finance, the compounding of habits leads to exponential growth and improvement. Breaking tasks into smaller steps. James Clear suggests breaking down large tasks or goals into smaller, more manageable steps. By focusing on the small, doable actions, individuals can reduce the overwhelm associated with bigger tasks and make consistent progress. Consistency over intensity. The key is to focus on the consistency of the habit rather than its intensity. Small habits that are repeated consistently become ingrained in one's routine, making them more likely to be maintained over the long term. Overcoming procrastination. The idea of making habits as small as 2 minutes addresses the initial resistance and procrastination that often accompanies larger tasks. Starting with a small, manageable action makes it easier to initiate the habit and build momentum. Behavioral momentum. Small habits create a positive feedback loop and build behavioral momentum. Once a habit is established, the sense of accomplishment and the positive reinforcement associated with completing the habit can motivate individuals to continue and take on more significant challenges. Habit loop. Cue. The cue is a trigger or signal that initiates a habit. It can be a specific time of day, a location, an emotional state, or an event. Identifying and understanding your cues is crucial for habit change. Awareness of what prompts a habit is the first step in altering it. Craving. The craving is the desire or motivation that propels you to act upon the cue. It's the anticipation of the reward and the emotional response triggered by the cue. Understanding your cravings helps you recognize the underlying motivations behind your habits. This awareness is key to reshaping habits effectively. Response. The response is the actual behavior or action that you take in response to the cue and craving. It's the habit itself. To change a habit, you can experiment with different responses while maintaining the same cue and addressing the underlying craving. Reward. The reward is the positive outcome or satisfaction you gain from completing the habit. It reinforces the habit loop by providing a sense of pleasure or relief. Identifying the rewards associated with a habit is essential. You can then focus on finding healthier or more positive rewards to replace those that might be detrimental. Cognitive restructuring. James Clear suggests that to change a habit, you can engage in cognitive restructuring, which involves reframing your thoughts and beliefs about the habit loop. By associating the cue with a new positive response and identifying the benefits of this change, you can create a positive habit loop that aligns with your desired outcomes. Identity-based habits. Identity as the keystone. James Clear argues that our habits are deeply connected to our identity. Instead of focusing solely on specific goals or outcomes, he suggests making your identity the central point. Ask yourself, who do I want to become? And let your habits flow from that identity. Behavior follows identity. James Clear contends that our habits are not isolated actions, but are expressions of our identity. If you want to change your habits, start by examining and reshaping your identity. When your habits align with the person you aspire to be, behavior change becomes more natural and sustainable. Identity-based cue for habits. Clear introduces the idea of using your desired identity as a cue for your habits. For example, if you want to develop the habit of regular exercise, think of yourself as an active person. When faced with a choice, ask, what would an active person do? This helps in making decisions in line with your desired identity. Consistency with values. Aligning habits with identity involves ensuring that your actions reflect your core values. By consciously choosing habits that resonate with your values, you create a more meaningful connection between your identity and your daily behaviors. Gradual evolution of identity. Changing your identity is a gradual process. James Clear suggests that small wins and consistent adherence to identity-based habits contribute to a shift in self-perception over time. As you accumulate evidence of being the person you want to become, your identity naturally evolves to support those positive habits. Habit stacking. Identity existing habits. Start by listing your current habits and routines. These can be daily rituals, such as brushing your teeth, having a cup of coffee, or checking your email. Identify habits that are already well established in your daily life. Choose target habits. Determine the new habits you want to develop and integrate into your routine. These should be small, manageable habits that can be realistically be added to your existing schedule without overwhelming you. For example, if you want to start a daily stretching routine, that could be a target habit. Stacking sequence. Decide where in your existing routine you can stack the new habit. It's crucial to place the new habit immediately after an established habit. This creates a clear association between the existing habit and the new one, making it more likely for the new habit to stick. Example, if you already have the habit of brewing a cup of coffee every morning, you could stack your new habit of stretching immediately after pouring the coffee. Be specific. Clearly define the behavior of the new habit. Make it specific and actionable. This helps in creating a seamless flow from one habit to the next. The more explicit you are, the easier it is to follow through. Example, instead of a vague goal like start exercising, be specific with stretch for 5 minutes after pouring a morning coffee. Consistency is key. Stick to the habit stack consistently. Repetition and consistency are crucial for habit formation. Over time, the new habit becomes associated with the existing one, and the combined routine becomes more automatic. Example: every time you pour your morning coffee, follow it with a specific stretching routine. Consistency reinforces the connection between the established habit, making coffee, and the new habit, stretching. Plateau of latent potential. Delayed gratification. The plateau of latent potential refers to a phase in habit formation where, despite consistent effort, visible progress or rewards may not be immediately apparent. It highlights the importance of understanding that habits often require time and persistence before the cumulative effects become noticeable. The valley of disappointment. As individuals embark on forming new habits, they may experience a period where the initial excitement and motivation wane, leading to a dip in enthusiasm and perceived progress. This valley can be discouraging, and many people abandon their efforts during this phase, not realizing the significant changes happening beneath the surface. Cumulative impact. Clear encourages readers to recognize that small improvements and changes made during the plateau are not wasted efforts. Instead, they are accumulating and contributing to the overall progress in the long run. The compounding effect of consistent habits becomes evident as they work synergistically over time, leading to more substantial and lasting results. Faith in the progress. Persistence during the plateau of latent potential requires faith in the process, and an understanding that positive habits are transformative even when immediate outcomes are not obvious. Trusting the journey and having patience can help individuals navigate this phase without succumbing to frustration or abandoning their efforts prematurely. Breaking through. James Clear emphasizes that breakthrough moments often follow on the plateau of latent potential. Once the cumulative impact reaches a certain threshold, individuals may start to see visible results and experience the benefits of their efforts. By persisting through the plateau, individuals position themselves for breakthroughs, reinforcing the importance of consistency and perseverance in habit formation. Environment matters. Cues and triggers. Make the cues for desired habits more obvious in your environment. For example, if you want to read more, place a book on your nightstand where you easily can see it. Conversely, hide or minimize the presence of cues that trigger unwanted habits. If you're trying to cut down on snacking, keep unhealthy snacks out of sight or in less accessible places. Design for success. Tailor your environment to be conducive to the habits you want to cultivate. If you are aiming to work or study more efficiently, organize your workspace to minimize distractions and promote focus. Make it easy to engage in positive habits. For instance, if you want to exercise regularly, lay out your workout clothes the night before to eliminate the friction of getting started. Social influences. Associate with people who exhibit the habits you want to adopt. Social support and accountability can significantly impact your behavior. Share your habits and goals with friends, family, or colleagues. This creates a supportive environment and adds an element of external accountability. Technology and tools. Use apps, reminders, or alarms to prompt the initiation of desired habits. Technology can serve as an effective external cue to engage in positive behaviors. Link habits to specific locations or activities. For example, if you want to establish a meditation routine, associate it with a specific spot in your home. Reinforce with rewards. Make the outcomes of positive habits more satisfying. If you're trying to eat healthier, ensure that nutritious food is readily available and appealing in your kitchen. Connect the rewards of your habits with your deeper values. This reinforces the positive association and strengthens the habit loop. Continuous improvement. Aggregation of marginal gains. Embrace the philosophy of aggregation of marginal gains, a term popularized by Sir Dave Braceford, a cycling coach. The idea is to focus on making small improvements in various aspects of your life or work, with the belief that the cumulative effect of these marginal gains will lead to substantial overall improvement. 1% better daily. Instead of aiming for dramatic overnight transformations, focus on making incremental improvements of just 1% each day. This approach is sustainable and reduces the pressure associated with making significant changes, making it more likely for you to stick to habits over the long term. Compound effect. Leverage the power of compounding. Just like financial investment grow exponentially over time, the positive effects of small daily improvements compound to create significant results. Over weeks, months, and years, these small gains accumulate and lead to remarkable progress. Kaizen mindset. Adopt a Kaizen mindset, a concept rooted in Japanese philosophy that promotes continuous improvement. Kaizen encourages individuals to seek small, gradual improvements in all aspects of life and work. This mindset fosters a culture of constant learning, adaptation, and refinement. Focus on systems, not goals. James Clear suggests that instead of solely focusing on end goals, prioritize building and refining systems and processes. Systems are the daily habits and routines that contribute to continuous improvement. By optimizing your systems and consistently making small adjustments, you create a sustainable path to success. Habits shape identity. Identity as sum of habits. James Clear argues that our identity is not a fixed trait, but rather a sum of our habits. The action we consistently take, whether positive or negative, contribute to the formation of our identity. Habits are a reflection of our beliefs, values, and priorities. Over time, repeated behaviors become ingrained in our self-perception and contribute to the narrative of who we are. Consistency builds identity. Engaging in a habit consistently reinforces a specific identity. For example, someone who consistently exercises and makes healthy food choices begins to see themselves as a fit and health-conscious person. It's the cumulative effects of these small actions that molds our identity. The more we repeat a behavior, the more it becomes intertwined with our sense of self. Identity-based habits for lasting change. Clear advocates for a shift from focusing solely on goals to concentrating on identity-based habits. Instead of saying, "I want to lose weight," one should adopt the identity of a healthy person and build habits around that identity. By aligning habits with a desired identity, the changes become more intrinsic and sustainable. For instance, a person aiming to become a writer can start by adopting the habit of writing daily. Conflict between habits and identity. Where there is a misalignment between habits and identity, inner conflict arises. For example, someone trying to quit smoking may struggle if their identity is strongly tied to being a smoker. To overcome this conflict, James Clear suggests reframing the way we perceive ourselves. Shifting the identity from a smoker to a non-smoker can make it easier to adopt habits consistent with the desired identity. Positive feedback loop. Changing habits to align with a positive identity sets in motion and reinforcing feedback loop. As habits shape identity, the new identity in turn influences and reinforces the habits. The more we see ourselves as the person we want to become, the more motivated we are to engage in habits that further solidify that identity. This positive cycle can lead to transformative changes in various aspects of life. Make it obvious, attractive, easy, and satisfying. Make it obvious. Clearly identify the cues that will initiate the habit. Make them as obvious as possible to create a clear starting point for the behavior. Use visual reminders or cues in your environment to prompt the desired habit. This could be a sticky note, a specific location, or a visual representation of the habit. Make it attractive. Link the habit to a positive outcome or something you enjoy. The more attractive and rewarding a habit feels, the more likely you are to repeat it. Combine the new habit with something you already enjoy. This way, the positive feelings associated with the enjoyable activity can transfer to the new habit. Make it easy. Minimize the effort required to start a habit. Remove obstacles and make the initial steps as easy as possible to increase the likelihood of follow-through. Break down the habit into a 2-minute version. If a habit takes less than 2 minutes to do, it becomes much easier to integrate into your routine. Make it satisfying. Create a sense of immediate satisfaction or reward for completing the habit. This reinforces the positive behavior and makes it more likely to be repeated. Acknowledge and celebrate your progress, even if it's a small achievement. This helps in building a positive association with the habit. Additional considerations. Structure your environment to support the habit. This could involve organizing your space, removing distractions, or incorporate tools that facilitate the habit. Share your goals with others or involve friends and family in your habit building process. Social support can provide accountability and encouragement. Conclusion. In conclusion, James Clear's insights from Atomic Habits underscore the transformative power of small habits and the compounding effect they exert on our lives. By breaking tasks into manageable steps, prioritizing consistency over intensity, and understanding the habit loop, individuals can foster positive behavior change. Aligning habits with identity, leveraging habit stacking, navigating the plateau of latent potential, and shaping environments for success further contribute to lasting transformations. Embracing a continuous improvement mindset, focusing on systems over goals, and recognizing the integral role habits play in shaping identity provide a holistic framework for sustained positive change. Ultimately, making habits obvious, attractive, easy, and satisfying enhances the likelihood of success, creating a path for continuous growth and remarkable results.